This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Life can be overwhelming, and sometimes we may not even realize that we're burned out. Symptoms of burnout can manifest in all sorts of ways, like lack of motivation, feeling helpless or trapped, detachment, fatigue, and more. Do I feel those things? Let me see. Yes, and yes. Do I know that I'm feeling something or actually know how to deal with any of them? No, not really. That stuff simply just happens to me when I'm going through day-to-day life, and I kind of consider a state where I'm flustered or off to be normal. Then I'll exercise or get away or communicate with someone, and I feel a lot closer to myself. Talking with someone, so amazing. It can help you figure out what's causing stress in your life. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and No Dunks listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/nodunks. That's BetterHelp.com/nodunks.
Guys, we did it. We have enough hot takes. We don't need any more. No more opinions, no more hot takes. We've heard them all. We've had enough. No more. Isn't it awesome? Everyone can just shut up now.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Thursday, May 5th. We're here in the Classic Factory. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
What's up, everybody? I was just looking at a wedgie tattoo from one of our fans.
Wow.
We'll get to on our Beach Steppin' podcast tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Nice tease.
Amazing.
We got our top shot hot boy there, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. The international man of mystery taking it to the max. We call him Hot Legs. It's Lee Ellis. Lily. And last, certainly not least, super producer JD.
The man has nice legs.
Got nice stems.
They're always commenting in the stream team. Always.
And nice new shorts there, I believe, on this
yes.
guy too.
These are the Mac Weldons. Return of the Mac Weldons.
Oh.
Daddy Mac, baby. Funny thing is, on TV there, they look a little more orangey than they do here in person. They're more sort of a pinky...
More of a salmon.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So do your lower legs, actually. You got a bit of a farmer's tan going on there.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, Atlanta right now, I'm sweating.
Oh, look at that sock tan.
Yeah, nice.
We're going CU.
Yeah. I think I've got the Mac Weldon socks on here, too.
Oh, jeez. Look at this guy.
Man, he's got the Allbirds,
They're low
Weldons.
cut.
Look at this guy.
Gardening shoes there. I see a little poop on the back.
How are the legs feeling after pickup basketball last night?
Legs are feeling fine. The rib section, midsection's a little beaten and bruised. I copped an elbow or a knee or something like that there last night.
Did they take a review? Did they look at it?
No, Trey was calling for a review on one play though last night. I can't remember what it was, but it was sort of
some disagreement.
Yeah.
I'm surprised your shoulders aren't sore from carrying your team last night. Ozzie Iverson was on fire.
Wow.
Carving up the defense, hitting the threes. People were saying you look like 2011 Jason Kidd out there. Go check the highlights anywhere. No dunks can be found.
Yeah, that's right. I saw the mixtape, I guess you were calling it, of Trey and Lily last night. Some great highlights, some good stuff.
Yeah. Look, I'm not going to lie. The bag was deep last night, for sure. Handle was pretty tight. And I do prefer that nickname. I once was called a Rafe LaFrance when I played pickup once. So I prefer the sort of Aussie Iverson. That's
the Aussie Iverson's a bit better than Rafe LaFrance. Yeah. Wow, I hadn't thought about that guy in a long time.
It's a weird one.
Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Take a second, hit that like button. Subscribe to No Dunks if you haven't already. Keep helping us out there, and comment away. Got there. Email in your questions because we're hitting the beach tomorrow to nodunks@theathletic.com. And if you're a Survivor fan, new no buffs later today, recapping episode 10 of Survivor season 42 last night. I'm halfway through the episode. I have to watch the second half. It's like I'm watching playoff games now. Watch the first half, and then I'll take a break, watch the second half.
I was so pissed that I forgot Survivor was on. Because I had to watch Heat Sixers instead.
Yeah.
That was strawberry.
Well, that's what we're going to get into. But let's start with the other game. Let's start with Chris Paul having another incredible fourth quarter to lead the Suns in a blowout victory over the Mavericks, 129 to 109. Trey, get us started.
Through about 3/4, I would say, this was looking like a classic game of basketball. Luka had 26 going into the fourth. The Mavs had made 13 3-pointers. Dallas trailed by 6, but it kind of been back and forth for the entirety of the night. But then the hunting began. Fourth quarter, Chris Paul went at Luka Doncic every single time down the court, and it worked pretty much every single time down the court. I've seen a lot of possession-based stats from your Harlebobs, from your Kirk Goldsberries.
Yep.
I'm not sure which is the most accurate stat here, but it's always like 1.7 plus points per possession.
That's a lot.
Yeah, they were scoring so easily. It didn't matter if Luka was guarding Landry Shamet or Bismack Biyombo. There was no place to hide for him at all. The Suns put up 40 points in the fourth quarter. Chris Paul had 14 of them. Devin Booker had another 9. Phoenix shot 16 of 19 in the quarter. The big run was an 11-0 streak midway through the fourth, which ended in a Biyombo dunk, and that was really the game at that point. The Suns' execution was top-notch. They don't lose if they have a lead going into the fourth quarter. They literally haven't lost a game yet this season, and they just would not let Luka off the hook. Dallas tried to help him at one point, and that's when the Biyombo dunk happened. You know, they're like, okay, just go by Biyombo. Suddenly the ball, bing, 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 finds Biyombo underneath the hoop. Big-time dunk. Dallas just felt helpless out there because you got to have Luka for your offense, but then if you got Luka out there playing small ball, really no way for the Mavs to stop the Suns. It's kind of like the guy sweating looking at two different buttons memes.
Yeah.
Luka on offense, Luka on defense is impossible to call, but a huge win for Phoenix. They shot 64.5% for the game.
Say that again.
64.5%. 64.5%.
Wow.
52% from 3 for the game. Booker finished with 30, also helped hold Jalen Brunson to 9 points. Booker was like on another level defensively last night. I thought he was great. Chris Paul, 28 points, 8 assists. I don't know really what sort of answers Dallas has going forward because it didn't feel like they had many last night.
No, and you're seeing a huge difference between what the Mavs faced in the first round and now what they're facing here. Jalen Brunson just can't get going. He averaged 27 points a game against the Utah Jazz, and now he's finding just bodies at him. And it's like, I think the Suns are like, well, Luka, we can't do much about one-on-one. He's been great. In the first game, he had the 45, and he was good again last night. But these other guys just can't get that freedom. You know, they can't get into an offense where it's like these guys can take a few possessions. I mean, Bertans hit a couple of threes. Spencer Dinwiddie didn't do all that much there. Finney-Smith, those guys, they just can't. There's no openness out there. That Phoenix defense is just so intense, and they know those guys are capable of hitting those threes. So let's not let them have them. And then, last night, for example, one of the advantages the Suns have, a huge advantage, is DeAndre Ayton. He got in foul trouble. He got a big flagrant when he whacked Dwight Powell there. Early on, you could see they were feeding him early on, but he didn't really have an impact on the game. Nope. And so for the Mavericks, that's a win. But when you see the other guys, and as Trey pointed out there, I mean, Chris Paul just chose whatever he wanted to do. And whether or not Luka's a bad defender, it's more just it's also like, let's just keep him working, keep him moving so that he gets fatigued. And I think you saw that as well. So the Mavericks, they're a chance when they go home. It's only 2 games, but they need to find a way to sort of just get some of those guys open shots. But that Phoenix defense is so ready and just waiting for everybody out there that every shot the Mavericks seem to take is either tough or contested.
Do they have a chance at all, the Mavs, in this series? Be honest with me.
It's very, very slim. I think it has to be the Suns either getting injured or just not feeling like themselves, because if everybody is clicking offensively, 64%, it's hard to do.
It's weird when you see
your shots,
the 60 plus in that little box
score. In game 1, they were on the verge of doing that. Yeah. They were kicking ass. It was 50-40 for a lot of the game, and then they sort of slowed down in the fourth quarter. But they can do what they want. I think Chris Paul is the best version of himself now. The dude is getting better with age. He really is. He's going to be 37 tomorrow. Is that right? When it comes out of my mouth, that's weird. But he is in the best position to win a title as the number 1 guy right now. I think, here we got 4 teams left in the Western Conference. He's looking at probably the other side of the bracket a little bit. He's got to be peeking over after being so confident against this Mavs team, the way he was going at anybody, really. I mean, whether it's Luka, whether it's Reggie Bullock, whether it's a big, he's got to feel so good. And it's cool. We're going to probably juxtaposition to James Harden a little bit later in the show, where he is not improving with age. He's not looking like he can take over, but Chris Paul is seeing anybody on the Mavs defense and just obliterating them, and then looking at that Mavs bench over and over and over and saying, what are you trying to do? What can you do? And being asked about it in the post-game press conference, and they're shooting those eyes with Devin Booker. These guys are absolutely ready. That finals appearance got them ready for this. And again, looking at the other side of the bracket now, Gary Payton II, his injury where he's going to be out a few weeks, he won't be able to guard Chris Paul if they meet in the conference finals. I think he'll be happy to go at John Morant in the Grizzlies perimeter defense if it's them. He's got to be jacked. The Suns have to be jacked. So no, the Mavs probably don't have a shot. But also, they have to be able to score better. I mean, it's both ends, and that's the problem. The Mavs can't get Jalen Brunson going. I think maybe Jalen Brunson has to be the lead guard at the beginning of the games to get him going. I think that's probably your only other option. Because he stalled out a bit. He just has to be better.
Yeah, he was bottled up. He finished a game minus 22, 9 points. You said 25% shooting for Brunson. Second straight game that he struggled against the Suns defense. Chris Paul was trying to help Kid last night. He was coaching for him. He was calling timeouts for him. I love that troll move right there. It's like, I'm kicking your ass so bad. I'm just advising you should just take a timeout and talk it over and maybe switch up your defensive game plan. Not that you're going to be able to stop me right now. I mean, he's like surgical.
Man.
It's sort of scary. And the pace he moves at, and obviously picking who he's going to embarrass and get to his spot. And like, it just feels like he's hitting any jumper he takes in a fourth quarter situation right now.
I thought it was a great point from Law Murray on the Daily Ding today, saying that after game one, we saw in the fourth quarter, like the Mavs had a little bit of success with their small ball lineup, right? Like they made it into a run, made it a little bit interesting in the fourth quarter. We said, all right, maybe if you're the Mavs going forward, you think, okay, at least we've got something we can try here. They tried it again, and the Suns were completely ready for it. It was like Chris Paul said, oh, you got one over on me a little bit here in game one. It ain't happening again. So as soon as they went to small ball, it was like, sorry, Luka, you're going to get embarrassed here for a little bit. And that's exactly what it was. It got so bad eventually that they were like, is he still hurt from his leg injury?
I love that
it's been quite a long time since that happened, and he definitely looked like he was slowing down. But he also, I think he had 24 in the first half.
Yeah, his third quarter.
So maybe Tass is right. Like, maybe Jalen Brunson needs to take a huge share of the possessions in the first half to try and get him going and to save Luka, because he's going to get hunted again. Because the Mavs are going to have to play small again. That's the way they can win a game, is hitting 23s. So they're going to have to do the small ball thing, and Luka's just got to have a little bit more energy left there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Jason Kidd decided, let's go to Brunson in the third quarter, and that's why Luka was sort of off the ball a lot, and he only had one assist after halftime, and that just ain't going to work if Jalen Brunson isn't going either. And then the five smalls, it is interesting. It kind of worked in game one, but it's I don't think it's the way to stop Chris Paul, really. I mean, he's going to get by his initial defender. If the Warriors are scouting this or the Grizzlies are scouting this, they got to be thinking, we got to keep Draymond Green on the floor or somebody else on the floor to be a secondary defender. Because in this day and age, as Bob Ryan was saying yesterday, the game's changed. He's saying it in a different way. He's talking about three-pointers. Anyways, it's hard for the guy on the perimeter to stop a guy. Mikal Bridges is doing a good job on Luka. That's for sure. But you need that backup guy. And they hid Luka in the corner at times, and you can kind of do that with five smalls. But I think you need a big on Chris Paul right now. And he's just getting better as these months progress. It was a question mark after the injury. Is he going to be good in the playoffs? Damn right. He's ready. He is so ready for June. He can do it, man.
You think the Suns are going to the finals, it sounds like.
I mean, the conference finals hopefully will be a match. I think the Gary Payton second. What did I say? The Gary Payton second.
The Gary Payton.
The Gary Payton second. Gary Payton the second.
Can we just call him Payton or Gary Payton? Do we have to always put the second in?
It's us. We're on the precipice of knowing GP so well. The original.
The rubber glove. I saw somebody wanted to call him because he's bouncy. You love rubber gloves.
Yeah, I absolutely do. Yeah, they keep your hand nice and.
I know he was nicknamed the Mitten.
He hated that though.
Yeah.
Why? Of course he would hate that. Nobody wants to be called the Mitten.
The Suns are going to the finals. is what I'm getting at. I'm sticking my heels in, digging my heels in to the sand.
Crazy.
Well, I don't know. I was telling you that months ago. I still think it's going to be Suns Bucks, and I think Devin Booker is still going to win Finals MVP. I guess unless Jordan Poole somehow does it if the Warriors get there, which was the dumb preseason pick. But I mean, I don't want to gloss over Booker because, like you said, the defense that he's like obviously he's gone to that level. Luka's going to want to have to do that at some point. Like, you know, Booker was always the one getting like, oh yeah, it gets you 25, 30, but gives it all back on the other end. Now he's been helped out because Bridges is generally going to get the toughest assignment, but Booker he's gotten better at that end. But then the 30 points lead, 5 of 8. I mean, he has those little waves too where it's like Booker hits 2 threes.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just suddenly it's like there's 6 points just like that. Maybe another jumper, 8 points just like that. He did it a couple times in this game.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like at the starts of quarters or halves it usually feels like, and then he sets it up and Chris Paul knocks him down.
Yeah, and also he just gets to that position sometimes whether the defender's there or not, and he rises up and knocks it down. He's just so confident. It's like DeRozan, you know, one of those guys who's worked on that mid-range where he's like, unless this is a super great defender, I'm going to get my shot off if I want. And he's just shooting the ball so well right now. You know, remember, he missed, obviously, a couple of games there in the last series with the hamstring. He's looking like that's completely healed now. There's no lingering effects there. And I just think playing alongside Chris Paul offensively is obviously helpful, but he's also understanding how to make sure you don't get killed on the defensive end, how you do contribute and put in. You don't have to be Kawhi Leonard or Ben Wallace or anyone, but you just have to sort of be quick, put your body in front of your man, and get your hands out, and don't just be like a sieve down there. And he's really worked hard to improve that. I think that just comes as well, like with Monty Williams, and you see that how defensive that mindset is. Like, they can score easily, but if they can't stop guys, then that becomes a weakness. Right now, everyone who plays, even when Cam Johnson comes off the bench, it's like another long, rangy, switchable defender. They've got all that. JaVale McGee, you know, he contributes when he comes in defensively. Like, this is very Spursy in the way that everyone who plays, you know, we've talked about Biyombo this season when he comes out.
Plus 12 last night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, you just go out there, you're going to 4 for 4 as well. It's like, run to the hoop, you'll get the ball and just dunk it, throw it down. Like, and you'll be in and you'll be out, but they do that and they all play together. Even Campaign, I don't think Campaign is a terrible defender either. I think he understands you've got to get out there and go after it. So this is, they're so deep and they're so well versed defensively, and then they've just got killers on the offensive end.
Yeah. Any other notes from this one, or should we keep it moving? I guess to sort of like segue to the Sixers, you brought up McGee and Biyombo. I kept thinking, like, Jesus, I bet Doc Rivers wishes he had sort of like backup bigs like that. And then I say that, I'm like, well, are they only like that because they also play with Chris Paul, and then you're helped out offensively on that end? I think it's a little bit of both because they've been great. Those guys didn't miss a shot last night. McGee and Biyombo come in with 8 and getting in foul trouble, and they're, you know, they combine for 7 of 7 and do all the work they need to and play great defense, stuff like that. But let's go to the second game, because we had Bam and Butler leading the Heat past the 76ers 119-103 in game 2. Yeah, Tass, you were like wishing you were watching Survivor.
Yeah, I don't want to be wishing to watch Survivor, but this is extremely unfortunate. Here, I think we've got our first playoff series of the 2022 playoffs that doesn't feel like a playoff series at all.
It doesn't feel at all.
No, usually you get that in the first round. There's just one. Yuck. And that makes sense. There's 16 of 30 teams in the playoffs in the first round, so one of those teams has got to be a lot worse than the other teams. But it didn't happen in the first round. It's happening right now, unfortunately. Even the Heat's opponent in the first round, the Hawks, you know, they stole one, and that felt more like a playoff series than this. And you compare the Miami Heat's home crowd to the other second-round home crowds that we've seen, Boston, Phoenix, and Memphis, doesn't compare. I think that's part of it. It's not to put it all on the Miami crowd, because we have had one fan in Miami, splendid from games 1 to games 2 with the dress.
Yes,
she's changed.
She switched it up. Yes,
we're showing it to you on YouTube.
Photos now.
Yeah, we're going split screen. We'll put it on social as well. Yeah, the jerseys sewn all together. Red away jerseys for game 1, white for game 2. I don't think she's going to have to even have a game 5 outfit. But hold on.
Joel
Good
Embiid
thing.
can come back.
Good thing about the Miami Heat is that they have a lot of jersey options. Come back in the conference finals with the
Vice ones,
the Vice jerseys. Yeah. There's plenty of options. Listen, in this game, Tyrese Maxey phenomenal. Tobias Harris phenomenal. We can say Embiid will come back and make it a series. I don't want to do it again, but James Harden, it has to be put on him. It really has to be that he wasn't better. I know there was some spry plays where there's a couple, I as a fan, I'm sure Sixers as fans are looking at him waiting for just go by your guy. Just get to that rim. And he did a couple times. It's just not enough. If Maxey is playing this way, having a 34-point game, and Tobias Harris, who everybody rides, day in and day out, is playing this way, there's one guy on the roster who they traded for 3 players, and he is not performing. He hit one shot after halftime, and I don't think it's the hamstring. I just can't put it on that because he had that 5-game stretch as soon as he got traded to Philadelphia. Joel Embiid is Instagramming, I can't believe my life. I'm playing with this guy. He was pumped. And then I think the Nets just killed James Harden. When they destroyed him on that March 10th day, I think the Nets, without playing them in the playoffs, destroyed the Sixers' playoff hopes. Now, if Joel Embiid is there, of course it's different. But the scary thing is, Joel Embiid probably isn't right for Game 3. Even if he does come back, hopefully he does. But Chris Haynes reported on Wednesday, that was the first day, Wednesday, the day of Game 2 was the first day he was able to use a cell phone because he's got light sensitivity from the concussion. So that's scary, and I just don't think Joel Embiid, unfortunately, the whole Pascal Siakam end of round 1 injury, very, very unfortunate, but it's just a lot to ask him now to bring this team back. I hope it. I hope that lady in the front row is getting another dress sewn. I hope so. Yeah. I hope that is the case.
Well,
but
you need it for the second round. Final, conference
finals.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think the scary
semifinals.
Yes, NBA semifinals, whatever these things are called. The scary thing is, I know James Harden always gets what he wants. Got out of Houston, got out of Brooklyn, and now is the front office of the Sixers looking at this guy and saying, he's going to want a contract extension this offseason. 4 for $223. Is he going to get what he wants? I hope Daryl Morey decides that. I mean, the evidence is on the floor. He's not a max player right now.
He has a player option though as well, doesn't he? 47.
He could do both.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers doesn't sound very optimistic about the possibility of Embiid returning for Game 3 at least. That's what I was taking from Rivers post game. He's got so many steps to go through. Rivers said, I don't think he's cleared any of them right now. This is Doc saying this, and this is really the only question with this series at this point. Can Embiid play? And then maybe they have a chance to win a game or two. Because if he's not playing, I think the Heat have proven here that they're just head and shoulders above the squad.
They just have another level that the Sixers don't have. The Sixers need everyone to be perfect. And funnily enough, James Harden last night, and Rich Hoffman had a good breakdown on The Athletic about him. The Sixers, the Heat know, okay, we haven't seen that James Harden from the Rockets days, and we probably don't see it anymore. But they're also let's not even give that guy a chance. They're throwing 2 or 3 guys at him.
Yep.
He's making the passes. Guys aren't hitting
Nobody
shots.
can hit a shot.
Yeah, so...
Danny Green can't hit a shot.
Yeah.
George Niang, turns out he stinks. Not going to be the savior. Yeah. He was garbage.
Well, that
he might be injured
that
too.
lineup is definitely the best lineup with them out there. That's the only guy who... I know those are the only minutes that they won when they're going 5 out. And he got in foul trouble, he got fouled out. Those are the only minutes that they won because they are 5 out, and you have to cover those guys. I mean, he was 1 of 3 from 3. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But that's the thing is that 1-3, but other guys had enough opportunities to get those looks from Harden's passing, and they couldn't knock him down. Now, so that to me is what Miami's plan is. We don't even want James Harden to feel like maybe he can get that rhythm going again. I thought he actually, considering what we've seen of him, he was okay. Yeah. But he doesn't have that ability to just come tearing down the court, dribbles 3, layup, create something for everyone, and just have that defense panicking anymore. So that's the biggest issue, I think, for Philadelphia, that he can't take it to that next level right now.
76ers 8 for 30 in Game 2 from distance, and that means they're 14 for 64 from 3-point range.
You know what percentage that is, Lee? 22%.
Oh, Jesus.
They're shooting a Richie Beno.
Wow. You don't want to shoot a Richie Beno.
No, it's impossible. They cannot win a game without Embiid if they're going to make 22% of their threes.
The Philadelphia 22ers.
The 22ers, yeah. Let's call them that until they look like a real team. I mean, Harden can't have back-to-back 4-point second halves. No. But I also don't... what's he supposed to do? He's getting triple teamed with the ball. He's dishing it, and Danny Green's 1 for 10 from 3. What are you supposed to do?
He should be taking step backs. They are there. He can step back. And
he's missing too.
He's 1 for 5 of 3. I mean, I know it's unfortunate Danny Green can't shoot. And
what they need to do, the Sixers, is put someone in a Raptors jersey at the end where Danny Green's shooting.
Yeah, you're right.
And he'll hit 6 for 7.
Probably Niang too.
Yeah.
Exactly. No problem knocking him down
Yeah.
against the Raptors. Can't hit a shot to save their life. Yeah, I don't really know. Outside of Embiid, obviously coming back, being the focal point, everything goes through him. He gets to line, gets you some easy baskets. He's also a monster defensively. They're taking away things inside there. There's just no hope if he doesn't play. And I'm not saying he should, you gotta come back to Embiid, because I think even if he returns, I'm still taking Miami to win the series. Because they're a great team.
Awesome.
Yeah. But, to win a game, I guess, they're not winning a game without him. Unless Danny Green goes 8 for 9 from 3 and George Niang goes 6 for 7 and you hit 23s. That's their only hope.
Hey, Tyrese Maxey looks great.
He's
There's a lot of guys
great.
that look great. Victor Oladipo kind of looks like Victor Oladipo out there coming off the bench for the Heat. Duncan Robinson doesn't need to play with Victor Oladipo doing what he does. Yeah, there's lots of guys on the Heat that look very good.
Think about Miami's depth. Lowry is not playing. Yeah. They're not playing a guy that makes $90 million in Duncan Robinson. And they have 9 guys still playing in a second-round playoff game. No problem. That's why it also feels, by the way, like a regular season game. Because the Heat are just we're just playing 9, 10 guys. Yeah, the casual fan doesn't even know half of them. And kudos to them, because that's incredible. You said Oladipo. Hero had, 18? Felt like he scored 35 to me. Because he was just cooking them in the first half.
Yeah, I mean,
Caleb Martin goes on and on and on.
Yeah, the thing is, when Lowry comes back, those minutes for Oladipo are probably where they're going. And you mentioned Duncan Robinson. Remember, Duncan Robinson was maybe won them that game against the Hawks, the first game. He went 8 for 9.
Yeah.
So, if you're in Eric Spoelstra's doghouse, which he's not really, but he kind of is. But if they feel they need him one day, he'll come out and be expected to perform. That's the sort of way the Heat are. It's okay, right now there's not a really role for you, but that doesn't mean you're done for good. So you just have to be ready. And that's the thing. The Heat, to have Oladipo in that role where he can just come out, and it was a very he didn't get face a lot of tough defense out there, Oladipo, so he can get into a little bit of a rhythm like that. But that's why the Heat got him. Is we might need this guy as an insurance policy, and he's perfect for it. And when Lowry comes back, Oladipo will understand he may only get 10 minutes that game, because Lowry obviously is going to go straight back into the starting lineup.
Yeah, and he's got to play in Philadelphia too. So hopefully Lowry will be back in his hometown.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what his status is for Game 3. Maybe you just play it. I don't know. Do they do the thing where it's no real need to bring him back, especially if Embiid doesn't play? It's get him more time to rest. He's old too.
Sure.
And they have plans to obviously win this whole thing. But Bam, you said it great. 23 points. He was a monster. I mean, Butler and Bam are throwing alley-oops to each other for crying out loud. They were sort of clowning them at one point. 22 and 12. Oladipo the 19, Hero 18. Yeah, everybody chipping in. They dominated in the paint. They out-rebounded them. A lot of second-chance points, obviously, because of that. And it was... I'll give the Sixers credit, especially Maxey. And you're right, Tobias Harris a little bit. It was a 10-point game. They were sticking around. They were hanging around. Old counting crows. But it really feels like the Heat are all right, guys. I'm sure Haslam or Lowry says something all right, or Tucker or whatever. Butler probably let's just play hard here for 5 minutes and just end this damn thing. And they did it again here. And we'll see if they can continue to do it in Philadelphia.
Guess.
Yeah.
It's too bad. Yeah, round 2 here to get a dud where you'd be rather watching a Survivor, just post-merge, if that's what's happening. It's not even the best time of Survivor.
There's no juice to this series. Is the problem without Embiid.
And what's up with the Heat crowd? I know it's always a thing with the Heat crowd, but they're just...
You didn't see Dwayne and Gabrielle there last night looking great?
Yeah, I saw that Haslam gave Dwayne Wade his game-worn shoes. Haslam didn't play last night.
That's cool.
Dwayne Wade needs a pair of shoes.
Wade's you brought me your kicks?
I saw their Met Gala looks. Dwayne looking good.
I just want to push back on the crowd, because I tweeted last night, not a single second of this Sixers Heat has felt like a playoff series yet. And I got a lot of pushback from Heat fans, I think, taking offense to it, like it was me pointing out that the crowd said. Actually wasn't. It was more just what's going on the court, because there's no Embiid. And again, rotation wise, and it's just the games they're just sort of lifeless. It just feels like a February basketball game. But the crowd, I think, they're late arriving, sure, they're in Miami, but I think they're doing their part when they're kicking ass. It's maybe not.
Come on,
I think you're going a little.
It does not compare to Memphis or Phoenix or Boston. You can hear those crowds coming through the speakers. You can't hear this crowd. I don't think
Maybe
you
they're
can hear
piping them in those arenas. No,
They should pipe it in Miami. I'd rather that. It sucks. Well, it just sucks as a fan watching. Obviously, they're steamrolling, and the thing is, it's the chicken or the egg. Does the Heat produce the crowds cheering, or is that usually it's the Heat crowd, or sorry, NBA crowd.
Hold on, let me eat this egg.
Or the NBA crowd in quarter 3 of game 1. I think the Heat's crowd was lifeless, and PJ Tucker got them on their feet because he was getting offensive rebound after offensive rebound, got them alive.
Yeah.
The Heat's crowd doesn't really produce much energy for that team. It just doesn't.
They're
happen.
all getting ready for the Grand Prix this weekend.
Yeah, they're there at the F1 situation.
Any F1 drivers in attendance last night? They didn't show us on the broadcast.
They didn't show us on the broadcast. I saw that Michael Jordan met Pierre Gasly, though. I saw that. What a hilarious
Jordan in a helmet
on his helmet for some reason. So yeah, if you ever want to see a picture of Michael Jordan wearing a racing helmet, you can find it on the internet now.
If you had showed me that photo, just Jordan in a helmet, with just his eyes, I'm like, I don't know if I would have known that was Michael Jordan.
Yeah, same, because it smashes up his face kind of and everything. I'm not doing more face moves today.
Okay. Anyway, any other notes here on Philly, Miami?
Unfortunately, not. It is a tough watch because, unfortunately for Philadelphia, I honestly don't think they've got any chance. I didn't really think that without Embiid. With Embiid, yes. So you're going into it and you're like, I just hope Maxey can go for 45 and hit 9 threes.
He went 34.
But you know what I mean? It was still, even when it was that 10 points, you never really felt like, okay, Philadelphia can really steamroll them here. It just didn't feel like it. There's no feel.
No, it's lacking in that part.
Like we come home from ball last night. And you want to turn. You want to get into it. You want to, and you're sort of like, nah. Put our stuff up on Instagram. We got time. We got time.
You're telling me you guys were working on your own mixtape from pickup ball instead of really locking into Philly Miami game 2.
Truth is, yes. I mean, yes.
Respect.
Better crowd response.
Hell yeah. lot more buzz.
It was a huge. It was a Jared. It was a Chris Dudley for sure. And speaking of, Bob Ryan, respectable writer, obviously a legend.
Why do you keep bringing up Bob Ryan?
Because he complained yesterday that the game is all based on 3-point shots.
Yes.
Look at Tyrese Maxey out there. He was 11 of 18 from 2-point land. Were you watching that? No. I wasn't. I was watching Survivor. I wish I was watching Survivor. Tyrese Maxey was great.
He's playing 4-on-3. He's playing 4-on-3. He should be able to score. Same with Tobias Harris. They're taking the ball away from Harden. He should be able to score. But they gotta find the mix, right? You're getting 70 points from Maxey, Harris, Harden.
Harden has opportunities. He has opportunities to shoot. I know you guys keep saying that they're just taking the ball out of his hands. There's opportunities for him to let her rip. But I don't understand why he's not taking them.
You're not that guy, pal. That's it. He's not that guy, pal. Yeah. He's not anymore.
Yeah. My theory about the South Beach, spinach being Harden's thing was proven wrong.
Isn't there every city he goes to? There's strippers and temptations there for him that seem to get him in trouble. I mean,
you've been
Houston,
to OKC?
Toronto. Yes.
You've been to the strip club in OKC?
Well,
I went to Coyote Ugly.
I saw Tumbleweed in OKC.
Yeah.
Legit.
He was only 2 years there, wasn't he? 3 years?
Yeah.
What we're even talking about.
Yeah.
Well, that's why.
He's not the guy. He's not the guy. History not on Philly's side, though. All right, you may not like this, Philly fans. Miami has taken a 2-0 lead in 18 previous series, including the first round this season against Atlanta, and they've won every matchup, every single time, anytime they're up 2-0. 76ers franchise has dropped the first 2 games of a matchup on 19 other occasions, and they've never recovered to win a series. That's a little surprising, yeah.
I think they have blown a 2-0 lead, though, themselves.
Who's this?
Philadelphia.
Yes.
I think to the Celtics back in the days.
Okay.
Think so.
So we'll see. I mean, Embiid has to come back, throw the mask on, and get to work, because I don't think Harden is going to do it.
Well, is DeAndre Jordan? Is he going to start him again in 3? Honestly, who
cares?
I know. It doesn't.
DeAndre Jordan wasn't the reason.
No, I know. But I'm saying, while Paul Reed does get in foul trouble, I think you may as well start him at least and just see if that gives them a different.
Paul Reed played a lot more disciplined last night. It was Niang picking up all the fouls. But.
Yeah. You may as well start 4 if you're going to go with Jordan.
No, I do think Doc Rivers' lack of creativity is bit of an issue here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Paul Reed played 25 minutes, and they only that's half the game, and they only lost those minutes by 2 points.
Yeah.
It was a lot closer. They won the George Niang minutes. If those two are your centers for the entire game, I think there's a legitimate shot.
He went to a Corkmas too.
Yeah.
To
He
try
did.
and get some scoring boost.
Yeah, there's some.
At least
Where's
he tried.
Shake?
At least
He
he tried.
played all right. Yeah, I could use a shake for sure. I would love seeing Shake.
All right, well, let's take a break and get some shakes.
Let's take a break and get some shakes. Bob Ryan wants to go back to Chris Dudley era.
Oh my God.
Chris Dudley
can't-
era.
Bob
Ryan.
One more
Everything
time.
was better when I was 25 or 32. I get it, but basketball wasn't.
It's true.
Yes.
When we were 25, basketball's better now than it was when
Thank
we were
you.
25. Come on, Bob.
Thanks.
Let's grab a shake, Bob. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get into the Ben Simmons back surgery news and look ahead to the NBA playoff weekend. Don't go anywhere. Did you know Netflix has different content available to users depending on where they're located? This is for real. Netflix has tens of thousands of shows, Lee, but you only get access to a fraction of that. When you really think about it, watching Netflix without using ExpressVPN is like paying for a gym membership, but only being able to use the treadmill. Now, I actually did that, the gym part. I had a gym membership and I only used the treadmill, but you shouldn't. Don't be like me. That's dumb. What a waste of money. Be an ExpressVPN hero. ExpressVPN lets you change your online location so you can control where you want Netflix to think you're located. They have almost 100 different server locations so you can gain access to thousands of new shows. It works for many other streaming services too, not just Netflix, BBC iPlayer, YouTube, and more. Why ExpressVPN over other VPNs? Few reasons. Let me list them. 1, blazing fast speeds. You can stream in HD, zero buffering. 2, it's compatible with all your devices, phones, laptops, media consoles, smart TVs, and more. And 3, it encrypts your data. ExpressVPN has the added benefit of encrypting your data so you can browse the web securely. So be smart. Stop paying full price for streaming services and only getting access to a fraction of their content. Get your money's worth at expressvpn.com/nodunks. That's right, use our link at expressvpn.com/nodunks to get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. Content is king, but you should be the king of consuming content. I added that. I hope they're not upset with that.
That's good, actually.
Pretty good tagline.
We spend a lot of time thinking about what we put in our bodies and what our superpower would be. But what you put on your body is just as important. You wearing a cape?
No.
No?
No.
Don't want to give it away?
No.
Okay.
Exactly.
Every Man Jack men's care products use the best ingredients nature has to offer. Your Jeff Skin Wade will thank you. Every Man Jack has everything you need to feel and look fresh. From body wash, deodorant, and skincare products to shampoos, balms, and oils to tame and nourish your hair and beard. Do you have to tame yours there, Trey?
I have
After a while?
to, yeah. I'll let you guys in on a little behind the scenes here. Took a shower last night. Did not shower this morning. So when I woke up today, my beard was like very, very pushed up,
yeah.
very rounded, and I like more of an anvil shape. So I definitely have to tame it.
Yeah. You can make every day feel like a getaway with incredible scents inspired by the great outdoors. They use as many clean, naturally derived ingredients as possible, like activated charcoal, caffeine, green tea, coconut oil, and shea butter. Wow. Need something else to feel good about? Here's 3. Every Man Jack uses responsibly made packaging. They're a National Forest Foundation partner and their products are all cruelty-free. Every Man Jack's men's care, naturally derived, outdoor inspired. Look for them at Target, Walmart, Amazon, or everymanjack.com.
Roman! We like to have a lot of fun around here on No Dunks, as you can tell. So I know that if you guys are anything like me, you probably dread wasting time in boring waiting rooms, then having to spend money on copay, then dealing with insurance, which is a hassle. You know how it goes. Cops are the enemy. For my guys out there dealing with hair loss, I have to tell you about Roman. Roman offers a discreet process from start to finish. Prescription and over-the-counter treatments are available. That's great. Fast, free shipping. You don't have to wait to start fighting hair loss. You see a little bit of hair loss? Get on it now. Don't wait. Tackle that with Roman right now. Science-backed treatments that are proven to help slow or stop hair loss, and in some cases, even regrow hair. That's huge. It's like a superpower. It's amazing. So get a little more confidence from the top down. Go to GetRoman.com/NoDunks today. If approved, you can treat your hair loss for as low as $20 a month. That code is, or URL is GetRoman.com/NoDunks. Okay, back in the Classic Factory. Good news. Task got a shake.
Yeah. I am excited because
Yeah, get your protein in, man.
I didn't have a workout today, and this is going to force me to have a workout today.
Oh, okay. Chocolate?
Just mentally, just to have 30 grams of protein, cranking through my cyst. I'm ready. I'm ready for the Fairlife nutrition plan. Why am I shouting them out? They don't pay us.
Yeah.
They don't pay us.
Dime. Should have taken
Look at
the
that.
label off. All right.
Look at that
Task got a
product placement.
shake.
Let's
We're at a
talk.
break. Well, we got some crazy news here.
Not gonna say. They don't pay us, Trey.
It's a shake. That's all you need to know.
I shook it. It's going down.
Seems to be enjoying it enough. He
Don't
went
hate
back
it.
for a
Don't
second
hate it.
sip. Quick sip. All right, guys, listen to this. Ben Simmons
Sorry.
You said under. You were under that
Yeah, I know.
overlay.
Ben Simmons will undergo back surgery today. The Brooklyn Nets announced this Wednesday. This is from the Nets themselves, okay? 25-year-old received an epidural shot for a herniated disc in his back in mid-March. He's dealt with back issues since February 2020 when he missed time due to a nerve impingement. And this procedure that he's undergoing today, by all accounts, expected to sideline him for 3 to 4 months. So I guess the question off of this test, bit of a weird angle maybe, but do we, the collective we, NBA media, Twitter, whatever, fans, owe Ben Simmons an apology? Because obviously a lot of jokes have been made at his expense, a lot of questioning whether he was even hurt and blah, 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 and all that. What's really going on? What do you think?
I was definitely questioning myself. Should I apologize? Should we feel bad? I do think what was happening was they were telling us Ben Simmons was coming back. The Brooklyn Nets, as
That's
a team, were
true.
saying he's coming back game 1, maybe game 2, maybe game 3, maybe game 4.
Cleared to play in game 4, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and as
Yeah.
you said, the game 4 was on a Monday, and I remember you were mad that they declared him ready for game 4, and then 2 days before game 4, not even the day before, not even a game time decision, they said, they retracted that, said he's out.
Yeah.
So that was odd that they didn't do it on the Sunday or the Monday. So we were discussing the merits of him coming back and whether he should come back in a playoff series, in the middle of a playoff series, even a playoff series where they're struggling. So that was fair, but I think while doing that, we forgot that he did have a hurt back, and we forgot that he had an epidural only weeks before. So because we're sort of in the moment, even myself, I was just thinking about him, being on the floor and blending in and forgetting about the back injury. And we questioned whether or not he had a back injury.
Right.
I mean, that did come up, obviously.
Because
If
there
he
are
has an
mental
epidural.
lapses that he's and issues that he's been struggling with for a while, and that's been made clear too. So there's two things here really, and they might be connected, right?
Yes, that was obviously the report as well,
Yeah.
that one was triggering the other. And going back to 2020, he had back issues then that prevented him from playing in the bubble, whereas Joel Embiid was playing solo. So that is the bad sign here for the Nets. Apology? I don't think so. I'm not going that far. But I think we're probably just in the moment and thinking about his back and not thinking about everything else, because it seemed like he had overcome the mental issues to a point where he was going to be on the floor.
Mm-hmm. And there was reports that he had been week plus of pain-free, and that's why he was getting ready to go. And those, why were we hearing that is the weird part, from people that's super plugged in, from his camp, from the Nets and all of this. Well, what do you think? It's the same question to you, because you've obviously had some things to say about Ben Simmons. What do you think?
Yeah, well, it's been such a crazy season. We've heard conflicting information and news and reports and seen him, and he said he wants to play and all this, and then he's sort of said, well, now my back's sore, and he said he was keeping himself in shape and keeping himself ready. So I don't feel guilty for being skeptical of some concern of the injuries, but if the guy is having back surgery now, no one's going to go that far just to say to people, see, I had a back problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I just hope he can get himself healthy mentally and physically, and he can get out on the court again, because he's now missed he's missed 2 seasons of his career so far because of injury. He missed his first season as a rookie, and now he's missed another one for mental health issues and somewhat physical, but more mental. So he's a young man in the prime of his life doing what he loves, but he's not able to do it. So hopefully this can at least get him on the court again and get him playing.
Yeah.
Because it must be awful for him to be in this situation. to deal, first of all, with what happened last season, and now he has a physical ailment that he has to correct. So, I mean, again, I don't feel an apology. I didn't say, hey, you're just sitting home doing nothing. I just think that he had to get things taken care of, and he wasn't doing a great job of that when he had the ability to go out and play.
Mm-hmm. Trey, anything to add to this?
Definitely feels like we just never had the complete information, especially with the way that the very end of the season went down, where it seemed like he's coming back for Game 4, and then suddenly he's not coming back for Game 4. But I guess that's just something to remember for the future, is that when they tell us something's happening, we might not know everything about it, but I also do think it's a little strange that if he had a herniated disc and they were talking about a back injury so many different times, maybe that would have come up. Obviously, it didn't, and the Sixers and the Nets don't really have to give us the specifics of stuff, but I don't know. Hopefully things go well for him. It's got a long recovery period. They keep every article you see mentions the fact that Michael Porter Jr. had a similar procedure back when he was still in college. That went okay, but it was a red flag for the draft. Yeah. Dropped him a little further down, and as we saw this season, he had a reoccurring back problem that had to have surgery again, which kept him out for the majority of the season. So I don't know. Hopefully Simmons is able to get back on the court and actually be playing, and then hopefully he doesn't run into any more problems further down the line having to have back surgery as a young man.
I know this sounds silly because it is back surgery, but it's a fairly minor procedure, this type of work. At least my WebMD sort of skills, digging into this type of thing last night. So that's good. I mean, this is not really, really intense, and they generally work out okay, can alleviate some pain. And then he should be back at the start of next season, fingers crossed. He's got 3 years, $114 million left on this deal here, and we think in theory that he would pair nicely, of course, with KD and Kyrie there in Brooklyn, having been traded there, to give them a little defense identity. This guy's a multiple-time All-Star and all defensive guy, one of the elite guys at his position defensively. Hopefully this again takes care of some of the pain and maybe unlocks both physically and mentally, and then he can get out there come October. Hope to God he's playing at the start of the next season is what I'm getting at.
Right.
3 to 4 months the window should be there.
Close, yeah.
Recurring back injury is obviously a huge worry.
Yeah.
And the epidural, looking back in mid-March, was for a herniated disc, but it wasn't entirely laid out for us, right? It wasn't entirely clear. And they're keeping stuff under wraps as they should. But the worrisome part is, 2 years apart, back issues. And it was all enveloped in a mental struggle that we haven't seen come out clearly. It was something that was unprecedented in NBA circles in terms of its transparency, and so we were as media members concentrating on that, and then the back issue sort of snuck in, and there was skepticism as to whether this injury was real. From media members, that's totally entirely true, and people got lost in that because of the unprecedented nature, I think. But they did come out and say that there was a back issue, but I wonder when it sprung up. Because he hasn't played for an entire year here. I guess it did come when he hit the floor with the Nets after the trade.
It seemed to happen when we saw some workout footage, and then it came from that.
Let's not forget he was traded.
Yeah.
So, you would think both teams, I know it's weird because they sort of want to get off Harden and the Sixers want to get off Simmons, that, you got to go through physicals and okay, you're not giving us damaged goods here. So maybe it's feeling better at that point. And it's a back injury. Can it flare up and you feel brutal for a week? I'm sure it can. And then it feels a little bit better and maybe you're getting ready to go. I'm sure that's the case too. But let's just hope he gets back. Okay, let's look ahead to the NBA playoff weekend. Heat, Sixers, Suns, Mavs play games 3 and 4 on Friday and Sunday. There are no games on tonight. Okay? It's a little odd. 3 Days Grace is playing in Milwaukee tonight.
3 Days Grace.
It's Hog Fest, somebody told me.
Hog Fest.
Matt Ufford told me this. I didn't fact check him, but I believe him.
I mean, Summerfest in Milwaukee. Great time.
Yeah?
Oh, great time. Saw the darkness there, Lee.
Wow.
I'd love to go to Milwaukee.
Wasn't Hog Fest, was it?
No, this was Summerfest. I didn't even know there was a Hog Fest.
I don't even know if there is, but Matt said
it sounds like something they would have. Bacon just everywhere.
Yeah.
Deep fried bacon. Bacon wrapped bacon. bacon wrapped pork chop.
Bacon ice cream?
Bacon ice cream.
Bacon
obviously.
donuts.
Bacon donuts.
Wow.
Come down to Hog Fest.
We got it all. You've been to Milwaukee then?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Good time?
Oh, Milwaukee's really fun.
Yeah, I wanna
underrated
go.
city.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Cream City.
Yeah. Home of the cum dragon. Celtics, Bucks, Grizzlies, Warriors. They play game 3 on Saturday. So again, Heat, Sixers, Suns, Mavs. They play on Friday. Those are the next playoff games we're going to get. Then we get Celtics, Bucks, Grizzlies, Warriors. Those 2 series tied at 1 game apiece. Game 3 on Saturday. I think it's like a 3:30 and maybe like an 8 o'clock start. And then we get the game 4s from those other series from last night on Sunday. What game are you most excited for is what I'm getting at here.
Just looking at this, man, we could have 2 series over by Sunday, which I hope not.
We could.
So I am looking forward to either one of those other 2 games because I still don't really know which team is going to walk away with it. I mean, but I think the Warriors probably have still the advantage over the Grizzlies, the experience factor. But man, seeing Ja Morant the other night doing what he's doing, it's hard to not pull for him and love to see him just take that next step. So I would love the Grizzlies at worst to get a split in their 2 road games in Golden State, and then Milwaukee, Boston. This is a fascinating. This is what a series should be.
It's a real hog fest.
It is. They both waxed each other in the first 2 games, and now you're going to Milwaukee. They've got the best player. They're at home. They really, shot the ball badly in Game 2. You expect a huge response from them in Game 3, and I hope we get that. I hope this series does just keep laying blows on each other for these 2 teams because we need it. Because those other 2 series, even if they're not sweeps, probably 5 games is where you're looking at
you're
that
probably
best case
right,
scenario.
Lily.
So
it's feeling 4 or 5-ish with Heat, Sixers, Suns, Mavs right now.
Yes. Whereas if
Embiid's a big part if you can play.
If we can get 6 or 7 out of the other 2, I think they could be really good games too. So
okay, interesting. Well, if that's the case, there's no way the league would split them up. Like Lee's saying, if these because we have it right now, it's basically 2 games on one night, then 2 games on the next night. But if the 2 games that are on the same night, Heat, Sixers, Suns, Mavs, are done in 4, and these other ones are going long, would they split them? Okay, now we'll just go every other night, or will they just they'll probably because with particular Hog Fests and Bacon Fests and stuff like that,
Right.
it's already set.
It's set. So it'll be weird, is what I'm getting at. Anyway, which game are you most excited for?
What happened to this Mavs defense? What happened to it? That's the only way. The league got me a little bit depressed. Heat, Sixers, I don't think there's any hope.
We got your thoughts on that one.
Now we're thinking Mavs Suns. Now I'm thinking Mavs Suns is the 3rd of the 4 series to have a little bit of life.
Right.
Mavs defense has to be better on the guards, but they just come at you. Maybe they get off to a better start because both games in Phoenix, Phoenix came out hot, and the Mavs struggled. So it's got to be the start of a game, just like what Boston did in Game 2 against the Bucks. They were able to punch first and were able to keep the lead the entire game. So I know that's going to be a series. Grizzlies Warriors looks fantastic. Hoping for the Mavs to fight back in Game 3.
And Trey, of all the Friday night games, that Saturday day game, there's a big birthday party going on down here on Saturday. I will have to hope my buddy Grish has the game on.
Why? Because after the first 5 minutes, he'll tell you the result anyway. So
And that's Celtics Bucks.
Wow,
that's a big one,
okay.
Leigh.
Okay,
we'll get it on the big screen. Don't you worry. Trey, what do you think?
Which game I'm most excited for?
Yeah.
I mean, there's only 2 games to be excited for.
Okay.
I think. And these guys nailed it. Warriors, Grizzlies, Celtics, Bucks. Those are great series that we've got going on right now. And it's interesting to see what the Warriors are going to do with Ja Morant. No Gary Payton the second.
Yep.
The second. They're not going to bring in Gary Payton either.
It's true.
They're not going to let him play. He's retired.
what about Gary Payton Jr.?
Maybe give him a call. Give him a call. Give him a call and see what he can do. Because the Warriors could use any answer for Ja Morant right now, but I also assume this to me feels a little bit like Bulls versus Bucks. Bucks played pretty well, or the Bulls played pretty well in Milwaukee.
Hog Fest. Jesus.
Sorry,
Hey,
man.
can I ask? I gotta ask. You've been coughing for
Non-COVID
8
illness,
weeks straight,
non-COVID
though.
illness,
You have a
non-COVID
deep cough to you. You okay? Have you got?
I've got a phlegmy throat, my man. Call me Phlegmy Killmeister. I'm playing at Hog Fest next summer. Unfortunately, they have all these other sicknesses still, even though COVID is around.
Yeah.
So, actually, today I think is my last day of coughing.
Okay.
So, Actually, maybe tomorrow.
Because we've got about, I don't know, feels like 20 straight shows with a couple deep coughs from Trey Kirby.
Yeah, it's the cough dragon.
Okay.
The cough dragon's out.
What's that vanity license plate look like? I think it's fine.
CFDRGN.
Somebody get their Twitter handle. Somebody squat on it. All right, let me ask you another question then, because you're right. It's only those two series.
Well, you want me to talk about Heat Sixers?
No, we've done that. I want to know
about Bob Ryan.
No, we've done
Survivor?
that definitely enough. We've talked about Shakes, Survivor. We'll talk about a lot more on No Buffs later today. I want to know biggest surprise of the second round so far. That's my cue to you. What do you got?
This is my cue, my A return to you.
Jesus.
Sorry, man. You threw me for a loop. The way the Celtics have had success guarding Giannis Antetokounmpo has been actually surprising. He still won the game for Milwaukee in game 1 by doing everything else, by being a setup man. You know, he had a triple-double, 12 assists, 7 of them went for threes. But Giannis is shooting 38.5% through 2 games here. That's a pretty low percentage for Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's a Shaq-like scorer inside. So it'll be interesting to see how the Bucks actually get him going as a scorer in Milwaukee. I think will be very interesting to see. I assume a little bit more pick and roll, which will be good for Drew Holiday as well. I haven't heard any sort of news on Chris Middleton, so I'm not expecting that. So you need to see some big-time scoring games from Giannis. And I think it's certainly possible. I think a little bit of time off will give the Bucks a chance to figure out ways to get him playing downhill in a half-court scenario as well as in a transition scenario.
Yeah, not a surprise that series is 1-1, but definitely surprised that Al Horford and Grant Williams are like doing the best job we've seen in a long time in sort of locking up Giannis for making it difficult.
I mean, talking about old guys, Al Horford has been incredible in the playoffs. He was really good against Brooklyn, and he has been outstanding again in this series. He's having a sort of Chris Paul-like defensive impact on games, you know. But
the numbers back it up when he's on Giannis. And Grant Williams getting a lot of like the pub, and like it's like Giannis like barrels into him and Grant doesn't move. It's a brick house. But like the numbers when Horford's been on him are crazy in terms of producing.
And, you know, I don't think this was a motivational factor, but remember Bruce Brown beforehand said, we're going to go at Al Horford. And then in game 1, Al was a bit jacked up.
Spry.
But you just know, I mean, you know, he's one of the most reliable guys under the radar. We've talked about a lot that, you know, I believe he's a 4-time All-Star because he doesn't get that appreciation that he deserves. Defensively, he's great. And now he's hitting those threes too. So he's been really, really good.
What about you, Tass, for a biggest surprise second round? Anything else?
I think it's got to be Giannis. The 38%, the 41% from 2-point land, hitting 4 out of 10 shots. This guy is, is very surprising. So to see Horford doing it on both ends, it is a little surprising because where he came from last year because of what happened with the Sixers. But he has been doing this for a long time. He's a pretty decent Giannis stopper, and the Celtics defense came alive in game 2. That was wonderful to see. So there's that, and obviously Warriors, Grizzlies, and what happens with the Ja Morant defense. And if they continue to play Ja the same way, let him rip from 3-point land as he's shooting 39%, hit 4 and 5 in these 2 games.
And taking a lot of them, too, in a good way. Like he's not afraid to be like, you're going to give me space. I'm going to step into these, and I can hit them.
I think he's 9 for 23, which is not terrible by any means.
39%.
Acceptable.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah, I mean, so...
You have to keep... I mean, it's him, too. Like, we talked about, like, he's a running back. He can get to the rim.
Oh, yeah.
So if you sag off that much, you have to step into it. Again, you at least just got to show them that they got to think twice about that game plan. I think for me, too, just talking about that series, surprising Klay Thompson is just not been unlocked in terms of shooting the ball, and every shot looks like it's getting sped up even faster and faster, and you can tell the frustration, I think, with him. I think he's going to have one of these big, he hit the timely one in game 1, don't get me wrong, and then had the great defensive sort of stand at the end, but like he'll be unlocked here in one of these games. It's Klay. You can only keep him down for so long until he's splashing 6, 7, 8 threes. Just wait till game 6, Klay, anyway.
I can't believe he missed 2 free throws.
Oh, that
shook me.
Steph Curry missing free throws and Klay missing free throws. It's been very weird here in the playoffs. All right, well, it's a fun question for everybody out there in the stream team. Biggest surprise so far from the second round? Let us know in the comments section. We'll take our final break, but don't go anywhere. We have a very, very, I guess, unique tweet of the night, and then a little top 5 fun off of it. We'll be right back.
Is that piece of plastic in your wallet doing anything for you? Because the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card can start building credit with everyday purchases and on-time payments. With Credit Builder, members can increase their credit history with no annual fees or interest. And having good credit, or a good credit score, I should say, can mean getting better car loan rates or renting apartments easier or just bragging rights around the dinner table. But don't do that because people do not want to hear about your SAT scores or your credit rating. So continue your credit journey with Chime. Sign up takes less than 2 minutes and it doesn't affect your credit score. Just get started at chime.com/nodunks. That's chime.com/nodunks. Now for the disclaimer. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by Stride Bank N.A. pursuant to a license from Visa USA. Chime checking account and $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply for the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card. Regular on-time payment history can have a positive effect on your credit score. Impact to score may vary, and some users' scores may not improve.
Sling TV. Sometimes I miss having cable. I miss having some of the channels. Not all of them, but some of them. Either way, I'm not going back. I'm not my parents, There's got to be a better way. Sling TV is the perfect balance to give you exactly what you need for great prices. Playoff basketball? Yes. Check. News? Check. Entertainment? Check. All on Sling TV. Long-term contract? No, ma'am. While the other guys charge you more for less, with Sling, you can watch all the sports you love, including every playoff basketball game for the best price. Customize your channel lineup with all-star channels like TNT, TBS, True TV, ESPN, USA Network, and more. You can get whatever you want. Plus, you can stream the games anywhere so you never miss another play. Watch on your favorite devices, including your phone, computer, tablet, and smart TV. You can also watch anytime you want with 50 hours of DVR storage included. Sling is easy to set up and easy to use. Check out sling.com for special offers. Be confident you're getting all the playoff basketball you love for a price you'll love. Try us today.
All right, back with the boys. I love multitasking. Just paid my gas bill.
Don't cut that on auto pay?
No, I have to see what I'm paying past. Be wary of the auto pay. Trivia question: what I pay for? What was my gas bill this year? This month, excuse me.
$74.
Wow, way too high.
38.
How'd you do that? $38.08. God, you're good at this. You know gas. For a guy that had trapped wind once, you really know gas.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's get to tweet of the night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
TK, what do you got, man?
Well, tweet of the night. Is it?
Not
yet a tweet. Will be tweeted. So unless you're joining us here live on the stream team, you're going to have to check this out on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, maybe TikTok. Who knows where we're going to put it? We're going to put it everywhere. But if you're joining us live on YouTube right now, you're in for a treat. Because yesterday, Skeets and JD and I put together a fun little video. So take a look, Ski.
When I was a kid, I dreamt that my superpower one day would be the ability to hit 7 out of 10 shots. 70%. I could have went with the 10 out of 10 perfect, but it didn't seem reasonable. And today, I become SuperSkeets.
SuperSkeets!
7 out of 10. Realistic.
Yeah.
A couple clankers in there. Couldn't hit that fadeaway. I'll tell you that.
The fadeaway was a tough one. But I'll give you mad props for the half-court shot. You didn't take very many attempts on that one.
No, I think that was my third attempt.
I think so, yeah. And you hit the pose afterwards. You weren't posing the first two. I think you knew the third one was going down.
True.
That was nice.
That's true.
Yeah.
Not easy to shoot in a weird kid's mask either, it turns out. The cape, not too bad, but the mask limiting my vision a little bit. That's my reasoning, at least. We've shot a lot of dumb things. That's up there on the list.
Yeah, I was a little thankful that there was nobody else around. It was us two, nearly 40-year-old men. We're just
hot as F yesterday, too. We were out there. We shot that very quickly.
7 minutes of footage.
Didn't take that long. Thankfully, I'm not too bad, but I was drenched in sweat.
Yeah, man.
It was so hot.
You were going hard.
Get out on the blacktop, and it was. There it is. So realistic.
Yeah,
you want 45%.
Yeah, aim for 45%. That'll get you in the NBA.
I had people tweeting at me though this crazy childhood dream, my superpower, of again hitting 70% of all shots I ever took, because that would be enough in my mind to get to the NBA, but not make people suspicious. What was this boy wonder? He never misses a shot. What's going on here? People were agreeing that they'd had basically the exact same dreams, like the idea of like what a superpower as a kid, never miss a shot. But wait. I have to miss some shot. Yeah. So I wasn't alone. Felt good to know, even though you were mocking me.
Well, you would be the all-time leader in the field goal percentage. DeAndre Jordan.
I would be a superstar. I would be maybe the greatest ever. Still, I probably would be.
Well, what would you give back on the defensive end, though? I mean, that's where
exposed a little bit on the defensive end. You got to hide me.
That's right. You'd be like Isaiah Thomas, like 5'10". What are you, 5'10", 5'11"?
Thank you.
And I think teams would probably hunt you a little bit too. They'd say, "Look, we know that guy."
Lee, you've played basketball with me. I'm not you're not exploiting.
No, I'm not. But I'm saying if you're at the NBA, I mean. Guys are probably running past you.
We'll play some zone.
Yeah.
But I'm hitting 7 out of 10 shots.
I know.
I think the weird thing would be that you are a 70% shooter from the field, but you only shoot 70% at the line.
Yeah, that's so people would they go to hack a Skeets?
Yeah, they're like, we can't let him get a 3.
Yeah,
that's 70. You can live with 70% though.
You can
numbers are still
exactly. Yeah. But I got home from filming this yesterday, and I told Laura the entire premise of it and everything, and she was the same way. She's like, 70%?
Yeah,
it's a little underwhelming.
No, this is perfect.
Well, I say it's underwhelming because it brings us to today's top 5. Top 5. Top 5. The idea of dreaming to shoot 70%. Very funny to me.
Last
this
one.
Guy.
Yeah. Last one. Don't worry.
Call him Fern because he's Fleming.
Nice. That's good. I got it. Pacers.
Aye. Yeah, these are your top 5 underwhelming basketball superpowers. Superpowers that I think are like kind of along the same lines of shooting 70%.
Right.
You guys tell me if you would like to have these. Number 5, you throw 100-mile-per-hour passes.
Basketball.
Yeah.
No.
It'd be great for inbounds, like a long chuck. You would be guaranteed to be the guy they call like, all right, we got 1.2 seconds left. Can you throw it down to Christian Laettner? Hell yeah.
Yeah, but can anybody catch it? Your teammates got hate you. I don't like this one.
Nah, that's a good one. Because it's just a one skill. You could be on the end of the bench and they'd call you in.
Sure.
You can catch 100 miles per hour. For a long bomb.
Hell yeah.
But going down court with you're not playing on the floor. He didn't say you were
accurate though. That's the one thing.
Yeah, I assume.
It's a good point.
You're not playing in the half court, but you come in, you're a long snapper. That's cool.
I think though everyone would say, why isn't that guy playing football or baseball?
Yeah, you're in the wrong sport.
Yeah. You can't shoot, you can't defend, you're never on the court. But man, you got a rocket on you.
That's all right.
Connaughton.
Yeah. Pat McAfee.
Pat McNamara. That was my coach. Number 4. You have a magnetic butt.
Ooh.
Excuse me?
Go on.
Your ass is magnetic to people. Like, so sticky is maybe another way to put it. That'd be good for boxing out, posting up, and setting screens. So like if I make contact with you, you're not getting away. Like I'm locking you down and kind of like pinning you wherever you are.
Well, I don't know how magnets work really, but so really everybody else in a weird way has a magnetic butt too.
Yeah, it's more of like a magical magnet.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Everybody.
No metal involved.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're basically getting at you set a great screen because the person gets like hung up on you really,
Totally.
and boxing out. You know, I could almost box out like a foot from you and like, then you're moved over.
So you
You
probably
got a guy on your ass all the time. Make that decision, but
Yeah. But you probably lead the league in screen assists and, you know.
yeah, let me drink my milk. Cheers to that.
Yeah, it'll be a little uncomfortable though, I think, you know.
I think you'd want to be able to box out a guy off you, though. Like, if you're sticking your butt out, you want to get a couple inches of space.
That could be a problem.
That's what you want. You don't want a north-south magnet connection every single time.
I'm out.
All right, fair enough. Number 3, this is a pretty good one. You're 8 feet tall. That's it.
Now here we go.
Instantly the tallest player ever.
Yep.
Probably the slowest player ever.
Maybe.
It's a real double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be Yao Ming, or you could be Priest Lauderdale.
Yeah. I don't mind it though.
Yeah,
But you
I
got
would-
the rest of life too.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like just the travel buses and the planes and the hotel. You know, and when you're in a supermarket,
Wait, hold on. If you're 8 feet tall, wouldn't the bus be the perfect spot? Like the
don't-
perfect mode of transportation for you?
they would need a tailor-made one for you though. Everywhere you go, I just don't think they have.
Take out a bunch of seats. I
You're
guess.
going to Indiana and they're like, we don't have an 8-footer, so we didn't have an 8-foot bus made for you. You know. But if the other thing is,
Hold on. Okay, keep going. Never mind.
You're a superhero. They're never worried about
Hey, we saw Yao Ming. Remember that time trying to get into the SUV and he couldn't. He had to sort of go in the back there. So those are the sort of
that.
things.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a school bus or a chartered bus.
Okay, this will make it easy.
Yao Ming was before his time. Right now, in the Twitter era, he would be making billions being an influencer. He'd have a custom bus at his door.
Yeah, you're
in a
right.
sec- He'd
You're
be
right.
driving.
Okay, but back to the basketball part, I guess.
Yeah. New superpower is that you're your normal height until you step foot on the court and you're instantly 8 feet tall.
Whoa.
Sure.
That's pretty good.
But you're not telling me whether I have my skills as a
Nope.
5'10", 2'5".
You play like you're 8 feet tall. So probably slow. You're gonna be a
Yeah,
great
you're gonna
shot
be
blocker.
slow.
You're gonna grab a board if it comes to you. But
Okay, I like that. I mean, when I step on the court, I turn into 8 foot tall man. Yeah.
8 foot tall, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in on that one.
That one's all right.
Yeah.
I think this one's dumb. Number 2, you can teleport anywhere on the court,
Yeah.
but you have to be 2 feet away. Like it's only a 2-foot teleport.
Anywhere
Oh.
2 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like
you could still
I could be
use it.
sitting here, Skeets, and then suddenly I'm sitting in your chair. It's a little more than 2 feet, but close enough. I think it'd be good for closeouts.
Yeah.
Probably good for like getting around screens.
Hell
This would
yeah.
help you defensively, but you're probably gonna get called for travels. It's just gonna look too weird.
Oh, I'm gonna get called for travel.
I think
if
so.
I teleport around
So you
my
can
defender.
take the ball then as well. Because what I was thinking is you post up and you have your point guard come in and you point, I'm going to be here. Then you
Yeah.
teleport the other side.
Oh, yeah.
He knows that. He
Yeah.
passes the ball and you got a bucket.
Yeah, that's what I see too. Fast breaks. Those are fast.
Yeah, it just gives you a little bit of a boost.
Yeah.
What's Doctor Strange do?
Yeah, that's what he does. Oh, that's what he does. I think this would still be helpful, but probably not as helpful as you would think. 2-foot teleport. The 2-foot teleport.
Or
Yeah, it's
Yeah, the
It's like
dribbling
having
thing.
a super quick first step, kind of.
yeah, very
Yeah.
very quick. I'd still want it. I'm signing me
Still
up for that
want it.
one. Yeah.
That's like John Morant, really. Like
Yeah.
carry the ball for a couple feet, just go.
All right, number 1. This is my number 1 underwhelming superpower. Gigantic thumbs. Your hands are the same. Your hands look the same, but you got gigantic thumbs, and I'm thinking as long as like a hot dog.
Oh, longer. Okay,
Yeah, so
okay.
like, you know, your thumb is probably double the length that it normally is.
Okay.
Great for grip, great for ball control.
Yeah.
But you're not getting the benefit of having long fingers
Yeah.
for
to
touch
shoot.
around the rim
Yeah,
and that
shooting.
kind of stuff.
Wow.
The first
Just
thumb
the
roll.
thumb.
The first thumb roll in NBA history.
Thumb roll. Was that a reverse pass? I don't know. I guess it sort of is.
I would shoot with my thumbs from the free throw line. It's kind of hard.
Oh, that's a go. You could
Yeah.
probably throw like a wicked chest pass.
Yeah.
Big old sausage thumbs.
What do you think, Lee?
just trying to think if it would be good, you know, for palming the ball, you'd have real good solid lock on that. Like they couldn't just like bat it away from you. But then would that be harder to shoot in the end?
Yeah, a lot A lot of dinkers and dumpers. You have to master that.
Yeah. But sure, why not? You know, I'd rather big thumb than a big sweaty magnety butt. That's the one thing about even pickup ball. The sweaty guy, you don't want to be running into screens from him all the time. So
that should have been one. Extra sweaty.
Yeah.
Like double the sweat.
Ewing factor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
Double Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
So those are your top 5 underwhelming basketball superpowers. 100-mile-per-hour passes, magnetic butt.
Yep.
As soon as you step on the court, you're 8 feet tall. You can teleport, but only 2 feet away. And gigantic hot dog thumbs. Man, double Ewing, though. Double Ewing, I kind of wish I would have gotten in there.
That's good. Well, maybe let's throw this at everybody in the stream team, everybody listening later, watching later. Let's hear your underwhelming basketball superpower. And maybe there'll be another video in our future for all we know. All right, well, let's call it there.
That was great editing, by the way.
Yeah,
you
great
should
job.
check out this video.
Great job. Yeah, if you're just listening, come over to our YouTube page or on Twitter, of course. We'll post it there. Instagram, I'm sure, too, at No Dunks Inc. SuperSkeets, I guess we'll be calling it. If you want to just see me shoot, 3 misses and 7 hits.
7 for 10.
Dressed in a small child's superhero costume.
I know you guys said you felt strange.
Oh, I didn't say that.
You felt normal.
I felt totally normal.
But the editing makes it feel super normal.
Yeah. You should watch the first cut that Trey did, where there is no sound, there's not a lot of effects. It's you want to talk about underwhelming. JD, takes to the next level. Was that fun to work on, JD? I felt like you enjoyed that for some reason.
I enjoyed it. It's one of those things where, oh, cool, a 4-hour chore just dropped in my lap, but it was fun.
Jesus, wow.
Oh, I mean, it's like visual effects, sound effects. It's
you're gonna win an award for that.
Am I? A Webby? Is there a category for that?
Probably.
We'll make one.
Awesome.
Go check out that video. Good work by Trey and JD. Okay, email in your NBA questions. We're hitting the beach tomorrow. NoDunks@theathletic.com. Follow us, like I said, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, at NoDunksInc. INC on the end. And get yourself an Athletic subscription. Go to theathletic.com/NoDunks. What are you doing tonight with no hoops to watch?
No. Oh, well, hockey. I'll be watching my Flames.
Do you watch the first period and then wake up in the morning and watch the second and third period?
Yeah. Nah. I don't know what I'll be doing tonight. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Sort of caught us by surprise a little bit.
A little, yeah.
Weird
Yeah,
schedule.
it doesn't usually happen in the second round like that on a Thursday.
Strange
especially.
quirk, but you got Hog Fest going on.
That sounds awesome.
Hog Fest.
Yeah.
You like 3 days grace?
You like Godsmack?
I'm more a third eye blind than a 3 days grace. 3 doors down. A lot of threes out there. You too.
3 Dog Night.
Yeah.
You too. A lot of threes out there.
A lot of threes out there. You too.
All for 1. 4 minus 1 equals 3.
98 degrees.
There you go.
CP2O.
Real to real.
Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember,
Rex and Effects.
Tanto, Metro, and Devontae. Is that their names?
Biv DeVoe. I'm just naming 3-word bands.
Shakademus and Scissors and Pliers.
Boys 2 Men.
Nice one. Yeah.
Good one.
L7.
3LW.
Oh.
I got one.
Blink 182. Sum 41.
There's not a lot of 5s.
5. That was a band 5. If you're getting down, baby, I want it now, baby. There's a problem we can't fix. We can do it in the mix. If your man's giving trouble,
That's them?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
them.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know that song. I didn't know it was 5. Spelled F-I-V-E or a 5 and I-V-E?
No, I think it was just straight 5, yeah.
All right.
5 for Fighting, a Canadian band.
Nice call. You're on fire.
Ben Folds 5.
5 for fighting because they like hockey?
That's it, exactly.
Wow. Never heard of that.
Yeah.
112. 702.
We need a 6. Give me a 6. That's the last
Electric
one.
6.
What's that?
They're a Detroit band.
All right, we did
right.
it. We did it. We got all the
Jurassic 5.
Good one.
Yeah, Jackson 5.
Yeah. D12.
D12, yeah, that's all right there.
Pearl Jam's first record 10.
Frank.
No,
No? Come on.
one. Somebody's first record.
You too.
Oh, nice
you
one.
two song is one. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
I know. As soon as we're done here and Matt listens to this podcast, he's gonna hit us with another 100. So I look forward to that. All right, guys, embrace the day, people.